MD1 American Gladiators. It's a battle of the nation's largest cities, the city that never sleeps. And the city of angels, the power of New York, battles the glitz of Los Angeles. It's a matchup of the icons, the LA police force versus New York's finest. These two forces have competed against each other before, but the battle has never taken place inside Gladiator Arena.
New York's finest. We got the greatest detectives in the world, and we have top police officers out there. We do a job, we get it done.
This isn't a football game. This is an individual event that I plan on excelling in.
And welcome to Gladiator Arena, where our respective police departments are getting a pep talk from the great motivator.
Hold your head up high and say many, many times, I represent the greatest police force in the entire world.
LA's finest versus the Big Apple's finest in what should make for a very arresting competition. Our men will start things off. Let's go to the tail of the tape. Arthur Tom, 31 years old, 5'8", 153. Member of the Metro Crime Task Force. For the last 5 years, he's representing the LAPD. Michael Diaz, 33 years old, 5'8", 173. For the last 13 years, he's been a police detective assigned to the Robbery Task Force. Both men and Hawk will try to pull down Michael. And let's see if our two officers remember the pep talk and win one for the skipper. For this special edition, 60 seconds again, the time limit. First man up in that time or less will get 10 points. Second man up, if he can do it, 5 points. If neither man climbs the wall in 60 seconds or less, the officer who has reached the highest point on the wall will get 5. Here we go, laser crossing over, cutting Arthur Tom off the pass, and down he goes. In our officer's defense, this is an event that should belong to the Gladiators because they have done it so many times. But Michael Diaz from the Bronx looking strong and looking good. Hawk not able to catch him. He's got a free run. And he's got about 20 seconds left. Working on pure strength here. With that left arm, what he needs to do is make some sort of leap. There, he's got it. He's got that next handhold. This should propel him to the top. Michael Diaz is going to do it. 56 seconds. Not too much room to spare. For the Big Apple, off to the early lead. Michael, first of all, congratulations. You make it up in 56 seconds. You told us it makes a huge difference to you, representing 30,000 police officers, fellow police officers in New York City. Talk about that pressure and that kind of representation that's on your shoulders.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, first of all, thanks a lot. And when I grabbed that last peg, I felt I had 30,000 guys pushing me up. I did it for the guys back home. New York's finest, stay on top.
What about the rivalry between the Big Apple's finest and LA's finest?
That rivalry continues, as you can see, Mike. It's going on today. We're going to try to end up on top. We definitely are going to try to stay above the rest.
All right, Mike, turn around, wave to the crowd, congratulations, and come on down. And there was some question whether or not the climb would be a successful one. The very last moment, he reached the top. Nicely done. It's the New York City Police Department, courtesy of Michael Diaz, 10 points with the lead. And as we look at the successful climb of Diaz one more time, we will tell you he's the captain of New York's finest, the police department's football team.
As a New York City police officer, you have a lot of pride. And there's over 30,000 of us. You put on that uniform and the camaraderie's out there. Everybody sticks together, and you have the intention of getting the streets back to the way they used to be, where kids can run around and people can go out shopping and not being concerned about looking over their shoulder and what may happen to them.
The gauntlet, and the men will start things off. Inside the gauntlet, of course, are 5 gladiators. They are Laser, Nitro, Turbo, Hawk, and Saber. It's up to Mike Diaz again to earn points for the Big Apple Police Department. He got 10 on the wall. Can he do it here again in the gauntlet? Captain of the New York City Police Department tackle football team, which has beaten the LAPD 2 consecutive years. His buddies call him Bo Jackson because he's got that kind of talent when he's on the field. Looking pretty good so far. Nice spin move to get by Nitro. He's going to have to work real hard if he's going to squeak by Turbo. He's got less than 10 seconds on the clock. Turbo really working him over. I thought that football experience might happen, but nothing doing. What about that? You're captain of the New York City Police Department football team. They've beaten the LAPD 2 years in a row. I thought some of that football background would come in handy here. What happened?
I tried to stick it out here, and it was tough. I ran into my nightmare, Turbo. It was tough.
5 nightmares.
Whoa, that tough guy.
Hey.
True gladiators.
This is a good idea what you guys are doing. We know you guys are doing this for charity. All the money that these guys get for winning the show go to the lives of the officers who were killed, their families. So we joke around, we're going to kick your butt, but we appreciate you, all of us gladiators, girls and guys, for coming out here and doing that.
Nitro, well set. Keep it going,
I'm
Mike.
real thankful that you don't let me hit you.
Versus the New York PD. Event number 3 is the Pyramid. The men will start things off. Nitro and Laser are set for our 2 contenders. Arthur Tom.
Up the wall. Good time. All the way up.
Didn't make it up the wall. He wants to make it up here. Michael Diaz gave his team that 10-point lead with a successful wall climb. He's revved up for his shot here in the Pyramid. Yes. First one up gets 10. If both men make it, the second man gets 5. Here we go. Art and Michael crisscross. Nitro and Laser aren't going for it. Diaz goes tumbling back to the earth. So does Arthur. Both these officers extremely quick, but not quick enough to get past our 2 gladiators. Laser still ready to pounce. Nitro saying, come on, make a move, Michael. Make a move on me. 10 seconds to go. Laser again sends Art back to the ground. Both guys working hard, but they can't make it to the top.
Well, guys, I bet you've never been on the receiving end of something like that. Pretty wild up there.
Never. Back home it seems so simple. These guys are tough. These guys are definitely gladiators.
Well, Mike Diaz, the only officer this afternoon to score any points whatsoever. He got 10 on the wall and hasn't been heard from since. None of our officers have. The day has belonged to the gladiators. Maybe some redemption here as he's set to go against Saber. But he better stay away from that sledgehammer. Here we go. 1981, this guy graduated at the top of his class in terms of physical fitness out of 1,200 recruits. Saber obviously was not in that class. Another victory, that one in 6 seconds. Well, Michael couldn't offer Saber much in the way of firepower, but he wasn't short on machismo. He didn't back down.
Well, Saber.
The dog bone, the double triangle. It is time for Whiplash, the next event here in our American Gladiator special, the LAPD versus the New York Police Department. Well, Michael Diaz has been the only officer today to be able to break the Gladiator stranglehold here. I don't think Officer Diaz is intimidated, but he does know he's got a real tiger by the tail in Laser. Referee Larry Thompson sets their grip. We're underway. Getting jerked around real good. Another victory for Laser, this one in 8 seconds. His motto in all of these one-on-one events, get it done quickly.
Fantastic. I'm wondering if the guys back home are razzing you a little bit. Are you thinking about that? Watching you getting in and out of the Whiplash ring here that quickly.
No, the guys have been supportive. They've been great. We'll get a little ribbon when we get back home, but not too bad.
Crunch time here at Gladiator Arena for this special Top Cop edition of American Gladiators. playing Michael Diaz, hoping he can shake and bake his way to a few goals.
Going down. Oh! Backwards. Can't we all just get along?
Hey! Our Tom breaks the deadlock with that score in the outer cylinder. Diaz going down hard. "20 seconds remain. Tom almost got another one. That one rolls off the cylinder. Diaz trying to tie things up, can't do it. That one bounces out. Hawk with a big shot there to knock Diaz out of bounds. Oh, there's another one for our Tom, and Diaz finally scores. That is it, 4-2, the final in favor of our Tom, so that will put the Los Angeles Police Department on top by 2 going into the eliminator. Let's show you all 3 goals. This was the best of the bunch as Art splits a double team between Nitro and Hawk. Michael Diaz didn't have much resistance there as Laser gets there late. And then Tom again scoring and nearly losing his jersey in the process. And for this eliminator, our co-ed teams will race together, relay style. Los Angeles' Angela Shepard and our Tom get a 1-second head start on the Big Apple's Mike Diaz and Teresa Ogburn. Both teams will give their prize money to charity. So no matter what happens, all 4 of our police officers are already winners. All of our officers given a 1-minute time limit to get up the treadmill. That wasn't a problem for Teresa. She will break the barrier first, and as soon as she does, Michael Diaz takes off. Angela finally makes it to the top. She's got to hurry. She breaks the barrier, and here comes our Tom. So now the LAPD, they started off with a 1-second head start, and now they have to come from behind. And again, whoever wins their prize money going to charity. Michael Diaz, 33 years old, from Brooklyn, New York. Captain of the New York City Police Department football team. In 1987, he suffered a gunshot wound to the leg. They didn't think he'd be able to run again, or certainly not play football, but he's doing quite well, thank you. Our Tom, meanwhile, closing in. He now at the zip line. Depending on what happens in these final 2 obstacles, the wall and the treadmill. Our Tom is right with him. Up the treadmill, side by side. Oh, this is going to be close. Who breaks the barrier first? It's Diaz. Diaz wins it for the New York City Police Department. Their aggregate time, 3 minutes and 10 seconds in a spectacular race. Well, that was terrific. First time we've ever run the Eliminator in quite that way. And I must say, it worked out pretty well. One of our closest finishes ever. They hit the treadmill at about the same time. Both scramble to the top. Diaz grabs the rope first. Watch him nudge out Tom and break the barrier. Woo!
A simply phenomenal finish, guys. The closest we've had all season, and it was by a foot. Literally a foot. Unbelievable, Michael. What was going through your mind?
I just wanted to get away. I knew he was quick. We worked out yesterday. I knew I had some moves, so I just had to continue going. Teresa, excellent job. Angie, everybody did a great job.
It was fantastic. Art, how about you? A little frustrating, but man, doesn't get any closer.
Not really. That's about as close as you can get. And a good fight. These guys are great, and we're real proud of them, and we did a good job too.
We're all proud of all of you, and I should say 10,000 to the winners, 5,000 to the second place. I don't want to say losers because nobody's a loser. Gals, you're fantastic. Thank you all for joining us.
American Gladiators, #1. You guys are great.
From the Big Apple, Teresa Ogburn and Michael Diaz, our congratulations. That's our story from Gladiator Arena for Lisa Molosky and company. From our team to your team, I'm Mike Denley. See you again next week on the American Gladiators.